have you thought about maybe trying to do some track days? I'm sure they have track days over there, like the local Triumph Club loan you a bike for the day and at least kind of wrap your head around it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, well, the team's Italian, so maybe for the Italian races, it's not really something I thought of, but definitely something I'll look into after you mentioned it. So thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah, I kind of always wondered that. I remember when Hodgson came over here and was like, I'm showing up to win the AMA championship. And I was thinking, dude, you got to learn some pretty crazy tracks. And they never did put him on a bike or take him to a track day or club race or nothing, you know?
I saw him at a track day once in
did
Vegas. You? Yeah, actually, I heard he was going because I wasn't going to go, and then I heard Neil was going to be there, so I got my bike all, done up, got my leathers, and showed up, just to go play with him, ride a little bit, and, that's my home track, so I love that place.
At Pahrump?
No, it was actually at the Speedway on the outside road course.
Oh, okay, Vegas, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything that you think anybody might, has been misunderstanding in the press about this ride and the deal and what you're doing that needs to be cleared up, or did I miss anything really cool point that I should ask a good question about?
Not really. I don't think it's kind of a standard deal. Just they needed a rider and I needed a bike to ride, so it worked out.
It's a beautiful marriage.
He said
yes.
Talking about language barrier, and then he was coping with that. How's that going to work out?
Oh, yeah, the language barrier. You were talking about coping with the language barrier.
Yeah,
because the team's Italian, so now you at least know how to swear in Italian?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. So I think I have a couple ideas of, like, the words, when they see something with the bike or find something that's like, oh, I got to fix this real quick, and then they'll, say some words.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, figure them all out. But, I mean, it's just finding a good vocabulary that works for all of us, Like, the one thing one small little minor thing during one of the sessions, I was talking about wanting to change or wanting to try or just see what they had available for different top-out springs.
Right.
And I was, like, just getting a blank stare, like, top-out spring? Like, what is top-out spring?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to explain it, and I actually had to draw it, because, I mean, how do you explain a top-out spring? I'm like, it's a spring that, it wasn't working. It wasn't at all. So, and then come to find out, they call it an N-stroke spring. So...
Makes sense.
I mean, it's English, but it's just different, it's just different terminology. So we just got to get our vocabulary set up and figure out what we mean when we say certain things. And then also, too, just for the team, figuring out my riding style, and I have to figure out their sort of communication style and how they like to work as far as, what I need to say to get the certain things accomplished with the bike. So, it's just all figuring it out between the two different cultures.
Yeah, Matt has got another question.
When we were talking to some people about World Superbike, when Jake Zemke did one off, John was saying that they tune for the track.
Oh, right. Did you hear that? When Zemke was riding it, they tuned for the track, not for the rider. Are you finding that? Are they tuning for you?
At first, I mean, it's kind of like, you just start with a baseline as far as, well, these are the settings we know go fast here, so we'll start with these. But they've been really good about kind of, once they figured out that those settings really didn't work for me,
right?
And then once we started going in a certain direction, the time dropped incredibly quick. It was, I'd go out, I'd shave 2 seconds off, and then I'd have some complaints about the bike and handling and this and that, and then we'd make an adjustment, or we'd kind of just ride around for 5 or 6 laps doing the same lap times,
right,
and then make an adjustment, and it was instant second and a half faster, and then that, as we would go that same direction more and more and more, it would get faster and faster. So they figured out pretty quickly that, I have certain things that are going to work for me, and that may not be the same thing that would work for European rider or something like that.
Well, and I guess to a certain extent, you do tune the bike to some extent for each track. I mean, you don't have the same setup at Infineon that you do at Road America and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there is for sure. So, I mean, I think the key is just finding that baseline, for the rider. And then from there, you can take that baseline and adjust it to, different levels or different, adjust different things for different tracks, but still kind of keep that same baseline or balance or, just whatever, however the rider needs to have the bike to do good laps.
Were you able to borrow some geometry from the fours that you'd been running for the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-cylinder Triumph isn't too uncommon from a standard everyday Japanese sport bike, except for the torque, is incredible. But handling-wise, it handles like any modern sport bike should, and it's really good. Especially the front feel is really incredible.
Oh, well, that's nice then. Okay, well, great. Anything else there, Mr. Direttore? There's a little mix of French and Italian there. Well, Jason, thanks for taking the time. You're at Kyle Wyman's house, we should point out, and he was kind enough to have some Skype for you.
There's
Mr. Wyman, the healing Wyman and friend.
Brother.
Yeah.
Two Wymans.
Dos Wymans. Okay, well, good luck. Best of luck.
All
we
right.
hope you'll check in periodically, and for sure we'll see you at Miller.
All right.
Good luck, man. Tear it up.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you.
Bye-bye.